It was past 2 a.m. when I woke up to the faint sound of keys jingling at the front door. At first, I thought I was dreaming, but then I heard it clearly. The door creaked open, soft footsteps followed, and then a whisper. Not my wife's. Man's voice. I froze in bed, every muscle in my body tense. My wife, Zara, had told me she was working late on a special project at her office. But now, in the middle of the night, she was sneaking into our house with someone else. I didn't move. I just lay there, breathing quietly, pretending to sleep, listening as their hushed voices echoed down the hallway. Then I heard her whisper, "Be quiet. He's asleep upstairs." That was it. The confirmation. My chest burned, my hands clenched into fists, but I forced myself to stay calm. If I stormed out now, if I confronted her without proof, she'd twist it, deny everything. Maybe even make me look like the bad guy. So I waited. I heard them head into the guest bedroom. I heard the door click shut, and then I heard sounds that made my blood boil. I didn't sleep a second that night. The next morning, I acted like nothing had happened. I cooked breakfast, kissed her cheek, and smiled like the perfect husband. Inside, though, my plan was already forming. For the next 3 weeks, I became a ghost in my own home. I stayed silent, observed everything, and gathered evidence. I installed hidden cameras in the living room, the hallway, and, most importantly, the guest bedroom. Within 5 days, my worst fears were confirmed. She brought him back, her coworker, Danish. I recognized him instantly. Tall, well-dressed, the guy she always mentioned at work dinners. The cameras caught everything. Her whispers, his laughter, their plans. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning to start a new life together. And do you know what the worst part was? She was using my money to fund it. Bank statements showed hotel bills, expensive dinners, gifts, and secret transfers to a private account I didn't know existed. By the end of the week, I had everything: videos, receipts, call logs, and text messages. I could have confronted her right then. But no, that wasn't enough. I wanted her destroyed. I contacted my lawyer, explained everything, and we began building a case. We discovered she was draining our joint savings into her secret account, nearly $30,000 gone in 6 months. That was enough for the court to rule in my favor in any divorce proceeding, but I didn't stop there. I also reached out to her company's HR department and anonymously sent them screenshots of her emails and hotel receipts, all dated on nights she claimed she was working late. Danish? He was married too. I sent everything to his wife, and then I waited. 2 weeks later, I set the trap. It was a Friday night. Zara told me she had another late project at the office. I told her I was heading out of town to visit my cousin, kissed her forehead, and packed a fake overnight bag. Then I parked my car 2 blocks away and waited. At exactly 1:47 a.m., Zara came home. Minutes later, Danish arrived. I walked silently up to the front door, unlocked it with my own key, and stepped inside. The cameras were still rolling, recording everything. I wanted it all documented, every detail. I pushed open the guest bedroom door and saw them together. Zara screamed. Danish jumped up, panicked, half-dressed. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I didn't even look angry. I just held up my phone and said, "Smile. You're both on camera." Their faces turned pale instantly. Before Zara could speak, I tossed a thick envelope onto the bed. Inside were divorce papers, bank statements showing her secret transfers, and still shots from the video footage. "This," I said coldly, "goes to my lawyer Monday morning, and HR already knows everything." Danish cursed under his breath and stormed out. Zara collapsed on the floor, sobbing, begging me to talk about it. But I wasn't done yet. The next day, I invited both our families over for lunch. Zara thought it was an attempt at reconciliation. She was wrong. Halfway through the meal, I stood up and turned on the TV. On the screen, a montage of the evidence, Screenshots, text messages, videos, bank statements, everything. Zara's parents stared in shock, her mother crying quietly while her father's hands trembled with rage. My family sat in silence, stunned. Zara tried to grab the remote, screaming at me to stop, but I ignored her. When it ended, I looked straight at her parents. "I loved your daughter," I said softly, "but she made her choice." And then I walked out, leaving her to face her family's disappointment and humiliation alone. 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. I kept the house, the car, and the majority of our savings. The court ruled in my favor due to her financial fraud and infidelity. Zara was left with nothing but her shame. Danish? His wife divorced him too. He lost custody of his kids and was fired from his job after HR investigated his after-hours activities. As for Zara, last I heard, she's living in a small apartment on the edge of the city, working 2 jobs just to stay afloat. She's tried calling me several times, begging for another chance, but I've blocked her everywhere. Because the night I heard that whisper at 2 a.m., my marriage ended, and my revenge, it was brutal.